introduce my dear friend, Angela Giles. And she is our next speaker. She's going to be talking about selling in the DMs because this is a huge portion of lead generation and sales that I think it's overlooked a lot. And it's an important skill set for everybody to have. So welcome to the stage, Angela.
Thank you, Haley. And as you know, I love my clients and you love my clients too, right?
Absolutely, I do.
And one of the main ways, not all the ways, but one of the main ways that I get clients is selling in the DMs. And I actually very much enjoy this. And I started my journey 21 years ago in the online space. And one of the things I loved about DMs from the very get-go, once DMs became a thing, right? It's just how you can build relationships and meet so many people through direct messaging. So I'm excited today to share my pearls of wisdom. And I hope you can take one thing and run with it.
Oh, I plan to.
I know. So am I ready to rock and roll?
You are ready to rock and roll. This stage is yours.
All right. So I'm going to just tell you 2 seconds about who I am. I'm Angela Giles. I've got 21 years in online sales and marketing. I quit a 6-figure job back in the day, 21 years ago, to be home with my babies. And because I just never saw them and I wanted to do something different. And I was an IT professional, information technology. And guess what? I just fell into marketing because I love people and I like tech. And my story is kind of funny because I saw all these men building these brands and making millions of dollars in the online space back in the day before there was lead pages and ClickFunnels and all the cool wizard stuff you have now. And I'm like, I can do that. So I spent 4 months in a laundry room, hired a nanny part-time to watch my kids, and I learned how to generate leads online, lost like $27,000 in the process. My first success was learning how to generate leads on eBay for 99 cents. And it's gone from there. And I've had a great time. I love marketing. So now I build $1 million brands. I teach people how to market and how to sell. And I also do some consulting for Forbes and Rolling Stone. So I'm going to dive right in today. I'm going to just go straight through this. This is all recorded, right, Haley? So they can listen, you can take notes. So my whole thing is sell your way to success in the DMs, because are you tired of selling on calls where you book calls and people either ghost you, they're not your ideal client, or you're just wasting time because, you may go through a whole call. Well, I've got to think about it, or I need to ask my partner, or my dog ate my money, whatever. And the call is supposed to be 30 minutes and it goes an hour and a half. And it's just a lot of energy. Not saying you can't close on a call, just saying, I think it's a lot easier to close in DMs. So I'm going to teach you how to do it, because here's the thing. You can have multiple sales conversations going on at any given time. And this is what's beautiful. If someone is not your ideal client, you can very politely just exit the conversation by giving them something like some great free information, etc. So we're going to walk through this. So it's a really easy way to get clients, in my opinion. So you can start multiple relationships at any time. So the way that I do this is I invite people to hit me up in the DMs with a specific word. So I'm going to give you an example. So this could be from like an Instagram story. This could be from an Instagram post on your feed. This could be from a Facebook post, a Facebook Live. It could be a TikTok video. It could be a Clapper video. It could even be a LinkedIn post. But what you want to do is, in your call to action on your post or your video, you want to tell them if you're selling something, right? So say you're selling, like right now, I'm selling a Get More Visible package, right? So it's a call to Get More Visible Accelerated. And so if I'm speaking about it, I'm sharing a story and an experience, and I'm like, hey, I've got this really cool thing. It's going to give you XYZ result. It's called Get More Visible Accelerator. Hit me up in the DMs. I'm on Instagram stories, chatting, doing a little story live. Hit me up on DM with the word visible or info. So guess what? people go in my DMs and they say visible. So I know that they heard me talking on Instagram stories, and I know that this is a really quick, easy way for me to build a relationship and go straight to my sales conversation. Why? Because they obviously are interested in what I have to say, because they're the ones that hit me up. Now, of course, there's a whole strategy to posting and all of that, but that's not what I'm here to talk about today. So I can talk about that another times. So today, what I'm going to do is I just want you to assume that you have the ability to make posts and have a call to action to hit you up in the DMs with a certain word. So whatever that word is for you, and I have to drink a lot when I talk because I talk really fast. So I usually, if someone hits me up and they say, and I know someone on here, Haley, is it okay if I pick on someone on here and they could be my guinea pig?
Go right ahead.
Could I, and she's sitting right there with her pink, like it looks pink. Karen, hi. Karen, can I unmute her and she can be my guinea pig?
Oh,
can
boy.
I have an interactive? Karen, are you cool with that? Okay, can you unmute yourself? Because I'm going to do this interactive. I think it'll be a lot of fun. So Karen, you have to play along, okay?
I can do this.
Okay, so Karen, I know Karen, she's from Australia. She's the Wise Owl legal practice management software expert. And she's been following me for a while. She saw me on a Facebook Live and I said, visible, hit me up in the DMs with the word visible. So Karen hit me up in the DMs and she said, visible. And I say, fab meeting you, Karen. And what is Karen going to say?
Hi, Angela. Welcome to Sunday.
Awesome. So now here's what I'm going to tell you. And this might be a difference in the way you think. I'm here to be Karen's BFF. It doesn't mean I don't love Karen. I want to build that relationship with her, but I already know that Karen's interested in something I have. I've known Karen for a while. I've seen her around. She's followed me. Sometimes though, people just start following you and they love your energy. They binge your content and 48 hours later, they're putting something in the chat saying visible. So I'm not here to become their best friend. I'm the CEO of my company. I'm here to help them get results by serving at my highest and best and giving them my very best on how to get visible in this example. So I really want you to put that hat on. Don't be afraid to step into your power and be like, I'm the queen of my business. I'm here to serve and share with you how to do XYZ, whatever it is that you do. So the first thing, I do is I'm like, Karen, hey, thanks so much for popping in my DMs and saying visible. So tell me, what is your vision to get visible, Karen?
My vision to get visible is to talk to as many lawyers as possible and show them how I can improve their world by reducing their admin overhead and helping them make more money.
Well, that is awesome. So here's what I do now. So I'm going to give you this little snippet. I ask a few more questions. I try to peel back the onion, right? Ask at least a couple more questions. So Karen, how long have you been doing that?
Quite a while.
Quite a while. So now I would be typing this, or I might be audio messaging, but we're just walking through it today. So quite a while. Wow, it's quite a while, like 5 years, 10 years?
No, over 5 years.
Over 5 years. So Karen doesn't want to tell me how long. So she's been doing this a long time. Well, Karen, so why aren't you there yet? Why haven't you reached your goal?
Because life gets in the way, damn it all.
Mm-hmm. So what do you mean life gets in the way?
Well, you run two businesses and one funds the other. And then when the other one gets too busy, you've got to keep the money coming.
You've got to keep the money coming. So are you saying then that your other business is primary?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yes. So does your other business fund your Wise Owl?
At the moment, yes.
Yes. So tell me more about the attorneys that you mentioned that you want to go after. You want to go after more lawyers. And I know you're from Australia. I can tell by your accent, by the way. Great country.
We want to work with lawyers from 0 to about 30 users and help them automate their business and go paperless and to be able to work from anywhere. And when we implement with people who are paper-based, we can help them improve their profit by about 25% just by losing the paper. And generally, they'll also lose a staff, be able to have one less admin staff member because they're not having to deal with all the paper. And we also automate all of their document generation. So
Wow.
It just brings them into a new world.
So Karen is saying this on an audio clip, right? Say, or she might be typing this back. So Karen, so I'm hearing what she's saying. She's got a really great service. So Karen, can you tell me, with your visibility marketing strategies in the past, what have you tried? How long are you currently spending on what you're currently doing as well per week? Like how many hours?
It varies between having somebody on full time and then me doing about 10 hours a week. It sort of varies depending on availability of people, which is annoying.
So where are you where are you attempting to generate leads from at the current moment?
It's a multiple thing. Facebook, LinkedIn, talking to people we've helped in the past. We've, crazily enough, we've got 2 people from a long time ago who we're talking to. One I'm talking to on Monday, who I first approached over 5 years ago, and they did nothing. So we've really got to get these lawyers to have a sense of urgency.
Okay. So Karen, so you're saying that you're spending anywhere from 10 hours to maybe even 40 hours a week on either LinkedIn or people you've talked to in the past, or maybe some networking. And currently right now you have a couple attorneys that you are potentially talking to. However, you feel like there's a lack of urgency. And it sounds like, if you're spending up to 40 hours a week trying to get visible and only have a couple calls scheduled, that's not enough visibility for you, or your visibility strategy needs to be dialed in better. Would you say that's a fair statement? Yeah. So if you stayed currently doing what you're doing, what kind of impact is that going to have on you in the next year with your business? Just keeping. So she put the down emoji, right? So I know that that's not good. So would you be able to stay in business? Are you going to keep dumping money into these current visibility strategies? Would you stay status quo?
It needs to increase. It needs to increase in a hurry.
Yeah, in a hurry. Okay. And how is that impacting other areas of your life?
Heaps.
How so?
I want to travel.
So you want to travel. Can you travel?
I want to do things.
Can you travel with this business the way it is?
I'd like to. Not really.
Not really. So you can't really travel because your visibility strategy is just not dialed in. It's not working the way it should.
We're working hard on it at the moment.
You're working hard on it. Okay. So here's what I'm doing. If you can see, I'm asking a lot of questions. So what I do is I really want you to think through this. Whatever you are selling, whether it's a service or a product, I want you to think through what are some questions that you can ask. So I'm just role playing here with Karen. I'm just, this is like just off the tip of my head. But I want you to think about what kind of questions could you ask your ideal client based on the product or service that you sell, and what kind of impact those would have on their life, their business, whatever it is that you do, right? If you're a weight loss coach, how does that impact them if they're not losing weight? We all know as women, that can impact a lot of things. And so you really want to listen. Now, the way that I respond back is I will change it up. Sometimes I'll use an audio clip, sometimes I'll type it, and I love to use fun emojis and GIFs and have fun. That's my personality. So I make it a fun conversation. The other thing before we go on is I always want you to remember that you're not sitting here asking 50 million questions. You ask the question and you wait for them to respond. So in the perfect scenario, they're sitting there having a conversation with you on direct messaging all at the same time, but that is not always the case. Often we may be having a conversation and they go off and they come back an hour later, or maybe they go away and they come back 2 hours later, or maybe it's 3 days. But that's okay. So I'm going to share with you at the end, if I have enough time, if someone goes away for a while, how to bring them back into the conversation. So that's why you can have multiple DM conversations with anyone at any given time. And that's what I love about it. So here's what I do. So I ask a lot of questions. I really want to understand the impact of Karen's business if she doesn't have the right visibility strategies. What's going on? Why isn't that working? I'm trying to understand. So what I want to do is give her a pathway. Now, Karen, I'm just going to make something up here and we're going to have fun. So, and this is a total makeup story. So this is just fun. Okay. So Karen, I know that you had mentioned that you had someone on your team, and I know she's young and she's really super great with Instagram. She's great with TikTok, but I know TikTok can be a little hit or miss. I heard about this incredible new strategy that I've been working on with a couple of my clients it's been around for about 3 years, a new network called Clapper like this. And it's a US based TikTok and it's lots of fun. And it's really interesting because I've seen some I've actually met a couple of attorneys on there, and I've just met all kinds of women, all kinds of men. It's almost a wild, wild west. And I know that you can get a lot of leads from Clapper and achieve the result you want, which I believe you said you wanted to do 100K months with this business, Wise Out Legal, correct? If you test out and try this new Clapper, this new network. Now, I totally just made that up. Clapper is a network, but I just made that up. So you can see that I shared a strategy. So what I want you to do is illuminate a pathway from point A, where they're at right now, to point Z, where they want to go, like the results they want to have. And then what I do is I share there's no N on my listen. So that's no fun. Let me go back. So what I want you to do is just share what you think that you can offer, not your offer yet, but a pathway, a strategy that they could employ. So does that sound like fun, Karen, where you could get that girl I know that's on your staff that you told me about that's really creative and fun to get on Clapper and start making some fun videos and really interacting, because it's very community based, and get to know people and start bringing awareness to the Wise Owl Legal platform?
That sounds like fun.
Well, there you go. And I think it would be great. And so basically what you do is you illuminate the pathway, you share the strategy, and you listen to what they have to say. So in the DMs, the important thing is, when you are typically on Zoom or on a phone call when you're selling, is people can, especially if you're like on Zoom or Skype or something, people can see the expressions on your face. You can, hear them, see them move. So when you're on selling in the DMs, you really want to bring emotion to this journey. That's why, and people buy 80% plus buy from emotion. So you want to take them on this emotional journey. And as you can see, I'm taking them on an emotional journey. I asked them about their vision. I asked them why they aren't there. Then I talked about the impact that's having on their life. Now I'm bringing them up again. I'm talking about how I have this strategy and can take them along this path. So it's a lot of fun. And you want to exude emotions into it by sharing emojis, having fun, doing audio so they can hear your voice, typing. That's why I do mix it up a little bit. So it's more, it humanizes the conversation more. Does that make sense, Karen? Yeah. Okay. So you want to listen, hear what they have to say. Basically, there we go. So here's the thing. So you're still having a conversation. So I'm just highlighting at a high level today how this goes. So then what I do, I say, you know what, Karen, I really enjoyed chatting with you. And I could see how if you use Clapper and really build a community and showcase Wise Out Legal, that you could get several conversations going and have people book calls on your scheduler and start having at least 3 to 5 calls a week. Does that sound like something that you would enjoy? I can't hear you.
Absolutely.
Okay, so she just said absolutely. So, hey, Karen, would you like to hear how I work with clients? And when I do this, I always do audio. This little piece here, I say, would you like to hear how I work with clients? And I stop and I listen. I don't say a word. So I'm going to wait for Karen to say yes or no.
Yes.
Yes. So
please.
Karen says yes. So now this is great. So it was just fun. It's casual. And then this is the bulk. And this is what I do differently than a lot of other people. So when I'm doing DM conversations, even in conversations on Zoom, I'm always writing down what they're telling me. I'm writing down, what their challenges are, what their vision is. So I try to, that's why I say peel back the onion. I try to get at least 2 or 3 pain points or things that they have impacted them. And I really want to understand their vision. And I really like them to expand on it. So I ask a lot of questions. And then what I do is I share, and I'm sharing this concept with you. This is more of a concept so that you understand, is I say that they want more attorneys, right, for her Wise Out Legal practice management software. However, Karen's biggest challenge is her strategy just isn't on point. So what I do is I say, well, you know what? In my program, I have this module and we teach you how to use the Clapper strategy. And I marry those 2 together. And then say one of Karen's other biggest pain points she told me was time. I don't have enough time to implement it. So then what I do is I say, Karen, you said one of your biggest pain points is time. In our program, we have a module on time and we have 2 hacks that are very easy to implement to give you an extra 5 hours a week to implement this strategy. So I do this with both their problems and their vision. So I wanted to explain that to you. I call it value layering. Some people call it stacking. But the reason that I share this concept with you is you can take this and talk about it in the DMs. You could take this and do it on a sales call on Zoom. It doesn't matter. The point is I share this strategy with you. I want to make sure I have enough time because it is one of the biggest ways that I have found closing makes it so much more fun and you serve at a higher level just because people feel like you've created a custom package or service for them. Now, this won't work for everyone if you're selling a product unless you layer it by giving extra products or different things that might go with it. But this is how I close being a coach and a consultant or having a service. You could do this if you have a service-based business, like say you're a copywriter or a virtual assistant or whatever. So that's the first thing. So what I do is when I do my offer, I either share it in a voice clip, right, back and forth, or I send them to a video that they can watch, explaining things after I've done some value layering in a voice clip. So that's up to you. It depends really truly on what you sell and how you like to sell. But I do most of mine in audio, like audio clips, and then I might type some things. So I value layer though when I do this. Then what I do is I share the price and the payment structure. And I actually take payment right there by sending them a link. I use StanStore often when I do this. I don't know if you're familiar with StanStore. It's like Linktree, but you can actually you can have all your funnels in there, everything. But however you take payment, I just take a link and I pop it in there. Or if you do invoicing, you could say, hey, I'm going to do an invoice really quick. I'm going to put the link right here. And you put the link in and what I do is I just say, hey, let me know when you get the link. If you email it, they'll let you know, say, I'm just going to hang here. Let me know when you get the link. They'll say yes or no, I got the link. Then I said, okay, when you make your payment, pop back in here and let me know so we can go to the next steps. And then when they tell me I made the payment, I say, congratulations. And then I say, whatever the next step is for whatever the program is. It might be, booking a call, like their first call with me. It might be putting them in a Facebook group or a Slack channel or a Telegram, whatever is part of that program. And that's how I sell in DMs. This is the high level that I take them through. And I ask a lot of questions, and I use a lot of different, techniques, audio, typing, or like emojis. Ask Haley. I'm always sending emojis. I'm crazy. Karen will tell you too. So it's a lot of fun. Now, I want to share with you, I promised that I would talk about if you're having multiple sales conversations, and trust me, I have multiple sales conversations going on at any given time, anywhere between 5 and 20 DM sales conversations. So there's a couple of ways that you can bring people back to the table, right? Or back into your DM. Is often I'll send an emoji with eyes that are, those emojis where the eye is going like this and it's looking at you. I do something funny like that. Or I might do one that says, I see you, those ones that the finger goes in. Or if I know that they like cats, I might send a funny cat meme. Or if they love dogs, I'll send a dog meme. Like, I just try to have fun with it. Or I'll send one of those gifts that is like, hello, I see you. So that's my personality. And sometimes, because when you're in DM conversations, your DMs can get lost in the shuffle, especially if they're Facebook DMs. So what I do is I send those emojis so it brings it back to the top and they see it again. So that's what I do. And then last, what I do is if someone is asking lots of questions, I can just sense that, I need to give them some extra TLC. I invite them to hop on a quick Zoom call, but I always say short Zoom call, 20-minute, 15-minute, max 30-minute Zoom call. Even if it goes longer, that's okay. So that they can feel comfortable and they can see me face to face. And then I close from there. So Haley, did I do it in 30 minutes?
Yes. You're at 27.
Oh, so can I open it up for any quick questions, or
yes,
are we good?
Go right ahead.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions? Karen, thanks for being my guinea pig. How do I see if people have questions? Except for raising their hands.
I have a question.
Okay. Tell me your question.
Hello. My question is, how do you keep track of this? The reason I ask is someone was DMing me in Instagram, and then I didn't respond for a couple days, and he did like the, where are you kind, and I thought that was cute, and I was DMing back, and now crickets for the past 3 days. And I'm like, and isn't it funny? Like, I don't know this person, and yet I'm kind of like, oh.
Yeah, like you enjoyed the conversation. So
like, I thought it was interesting. Like I was willing to do it because I wanted to hear what he had to offer, but now there's crickets. And I'm like, oh, what if he had just kept going? What if I had just kept going? So how do you keep going? I love the idea of popping it back up with the emojis.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people just use like a Google Sheet, right? There's software out there. I think, what is it? It's not Flowdesk. There's one that I have, and it starts with an F, and I can't remember it off the top of my head, that I've used in the past. There's a lot of different softwares out there that will track for you, that are like a browser extension, that if you do this for, if this is like a big thing for you and you sell in the DMs a lot, or just use a Google Sheet and put their name down and the date and put their link so that and it can pop right up in their DMs. And then what I do is set aside a certain amount of time a day. Like, okay, I'm going to spend 30 minutes at 4 p.m. every day going through my sheet and reaching back out to people.
Thank you.
Then in the mornings, I check my DMs. I go through all my DMs and all my places where I know that people would say a word for me, like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and LinkedIn, and even Twitter. I get DMs on Twitter too. And even though I don't really say the word, I still get some. And then I respond, right? So that's kind of my schedule, but you have to make it with what it works for you, right? But use the fun emojis. I mean, or the gifts. People like that. It's fun. So keep it casual, just have fun with it. Let's see. Gary, does someone else have a question?
Were there
Anybody
any other
else?
questions? One thing I would like to encourage you, Tiff, is don't try to keep it in your head. I've seen way too many people that are like, oh, I can just remember this. 10 people times 10 people times 10 people, suddenly you're at 1,000. Good luck with that. You know, you just, not a chance, not a snowball's chance. And sometimes the conversations take place over a period of months.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I have a follow-up column that's like a 90-day follow-up column. So, you know, if they're just, you know, whatever, sometimes people just, life is life. It doesn't mean they're not interested or it's just not the right time or whatever. I follow back up.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, it's been a while. Here's an emoji.
And I think it's a good idea to, like I keep a tracker of when I'm going to contact the people again, because, and often they are very happy that you reconnected with them because it was something they wanted to do. And it's like, oh, thank you for connecting with me. I forgot about this. And then you start on doing the business. But like you say, it could be a month, it could be 2 months later. So I have, you know, like I do the you know, connect with them on the one day and then they accept, you know, then they accept it or you have to start the conversation. And then if I don't hear from them for another couple of days, then I go back to them again and then I'll wait a month and, you know, and they're usually happy that you reconnected with them because they know you're not a bot and they know you're a person and they know that you're interested in them.
Yep. Thank you guys so much. Let's give Angela a round of applause. Thank you, Angela, for being here. Yay.
Thank you, everyone. Have a beautiful day. Thank you, Haley.
Thank you so much, Angela. This has been awesome. This has been amazing. So y'all can